Hey friends, full reactions in the link in the description below, so pause, leave a like, really helps with the channel, subscribe, and come back after you watch the reaction for the discussion. Give you some time to do that. Review and commentary starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Wow, what a great emotional fight. This is what makes My Hero Academia so good. It's not just really cool fights, though we have those in spades as well, obviously, but the pivotal fights in this show work so great because the emotional stakes are so high. And I was already expecting this to be emotional in so many ways for Bakugo, but he has this idea that he is responsible for All Might's fall and for his retirement, which didn't even occur to me at all, and that was actually so sad to hear. Now, of course, in real world logic, he was a victim and he's not responsible for any outcome that is a result of him being kidnapped. But if he really wants to think he's responsible for everything that happened, he might actually have forced a best case scenario, because if he had not been captured, All Might never would have fought All For One, sure, but All Might would still have been losing power day after day after day and would eventually lose all of it. And afterwards, All For One would be still out there doing his evil plans, guiding Shigaraki, and Deku wasn't going to be ready to stop him at that point. So, and as we're seeing, like, everyone in Hero Society is scrambling to get things together now, make a better Hero Society, more ready for future villain attacks. They're focusing in, so they're adapting really quickly. So better for that to start as soon as possible, since it was going to have to happen at some point anyway. And so that would have never occurred to Bakugo. Like, at that point, when he thought he was responsible, he didn't even know All Might was weakening all this time until All Might explained it to him after the fight with Deku. And throughout the fight, though, before the fight even, Bakugo was so wrecked, emotions so raw, unfiltered. It might be the first time we've seen him angry where I kind of understood where he was coming from. Normally he's just like super hot-headed and angry for no reason, and you just roll your eyes at him in a Bakugo, of course Bakugo, in that kind of way. But this time I understood his pain, I understood his motivations, and this fight with Deku, just two completely different fighting philosophies, two completely different people. Philosophies might not be the right word, but Bakugo basically goes off instinct and reaction time. He attacks like a wild, relentless beast. Meanwhile, Deku is constantly analyzing because for so many years, that's all he could do from the sidelines. And that's useful in many ways as well, but because in this fight, Bakugo just keeps coming at him over and over and over again, he's not given time to think, and he's forced into fighting a bit on instinct too. And I think that ties a little bit into what All Might was saying later about how they complement each other. He was talking about how the desire to be number one and the desire to help people, how they should come together to make both of them greater heroes. But if they can learn from each other to be more instinctive or be more analytical and add that to their own strengths, that'll make them greater heroes too. So hopefully that happens for both of them. And Deku suddenly unlocking the 8% was really awesome. He just took his speed to another level. And the animation of that fight, they're still just like two young heroes in training, and yet it was so cool. All the green flashes across the screen. I can't imagine what it'll be like when they keep getting stronger and stronger. Whatever the final battle in the series will be, it's going to be spectacular. I'm guessing Deku will be at 100%. So yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing he'll be facing Shigaraki, but who knows? But yeah, interesting in the post-credit scene to hear that Bakugo thinks Deku's attacks are too straightforward and I guess predictable. And so all that speed is quite meaningless if Bakugo can still read and react before the blow connects, which makes me think, like, have we actually seen Deku learn to fight, or has he just been riding on his strength and speed this entire time? And how much does All Might even know about fighting in terms of like technique and martial arts? Because why would you have to learn a technique if the vast majority of things you're facing, you're just leagues faster and stronger than, right? I mean, I guess Deku did learn kicking motions from Tenya. Does that mean that Bakugo would easily be able to read Tenya as well? I don't know, but yeah, Bakugo did tell him that mixing in punches and kicks were annoying, or he hated that, or he was pissed off, so that'll be useful to Deku in the future. But I feel like he should visit Gunhead, the battle hero, and Uraraka's internship, and learn some techniques and fighting styles to help him out in the future. I can't believe Bakugo thought that Deku was looking down on him, though. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Maybe that ties into a little maybe that ties into a little how he treated those Huck members in the licensing exam. He was telling them to save themselves because he doesn't want to make them feel the way he felt when Deku seemingly took pity on him and looked down on him by offering his help, which is just such a twisted way of thinking. But yeah, the fact that Deku's image of victory was so inseparable from his image of Bakugo was something else, though. He idolized him so much, and man, these two are tied together they have such a strong bond, but it's such a messed up relationship. But now that it's starting to get mended, now that they're airing their feelings, I feel like it's about to change a lot for the better. And that finishing move of Bakugo's, exploding Deku into the ground, and there he was holding Deku down. I guess we know who the top and who the bottom is in this relationship. Some of you are just like, you had to go there, didn't you? You had to. But yeah, All Might finally showed up and talked to both of them. Even hugged Bakugo. Bakugo actually let him hug him for a bit before brushing him aside. Finally got that hug he didn't get at the sports festival because he was too angry at Todoroki throwing the match. Really loved how mad Aizawa was, and the fact that All Might took responsibility for their fight was nice as well. They totally still needed to be punished, and what they got wasn't too bad after all. There was that written apology that they have to write, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be an apology to Aizawa or to each other. I don't know. Anyway, love the post-credit scene. Bakugo was so mad cleaning things while the other students berate them for fighting. I'm surprised someone wasn't tactless enough to ask who won, or maybe they weren't sure who won and didn't ask because they were afraid Bakugo lost and would get angry and try to fight them. But yeah. I'm actually very happy that Bakugo won this time, because given Deku's rate of growth, this might be the last time Bakugo ever wins against Deku. So in order for this rivalry to really, really form, Bakugo needed to win right now. Because if Deku won, I don't think we could ever envision him losing to Bakugo again. And now we still have this dynamic where Bakugo is still ahead, even if it's led by a little bit. And yeah, I'm thinking back to the end of the semester test when Deku was yelling at Bakugo, "Would you stop yelling? This is why we never have real conversations." So now after all this, they can really start having some real conversations. So looking forward to that. Anyway, guys, 10 out of 10 for this episode. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're 1 week ahead at the early reaction tier on Patreon and 3 weeks ahead at the full reaction tier. So check that out in the description. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.